and it's working.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. I've addressed it. Have a nice day. And then all of these other people who I know, like, who have been members of this channel are saying, like, why won't you get on board? Bro, you are walking right into a PR game.
Before I go back to doing what it was that I was doing before this, preparing for some major projects to come out on this channel, which, by the way, to all my new subscribers, welcome to John Claymore. I also advise you guys, if you can, to give this channel here a short time of prepping. You may could type in Gear Issue 33, and it may pop up as well. I'll leave a link in the description box for you guys. Make sure you guys give that channel a look. And if you want to subscribe to that one, please do so. I do intend on expanding this operation shortly after I get monetized, which, by the way, this is still very, very much a small channel. And, of course, I wanted to go into projects. But, obviously, this... let's just say the girl with the purple hair thing, which, by the way, I didn't really truly want to cover. But, of course, I needed to cover at least some of that because of what was going on with the small YouTube channels and the possibility that she was going to silence more voices. This whole thing with Tim Pool, Jeremy the Quartering, obviously it needed to be covered and it needed to be touched. Now, guys, this video right here is sort of a final thoughts video. And the reason why I want to give a final thoughts video is I kind of want to review the circumstances itself as far as he is concerned, being the person with the beanie. Because you've got some people out there on YouTube saying that they are unsubscribing, they are unfollowing. Of course, they are also at the same time, how do I put this right here? They are also canceling their memberships, which, by the way, I personally don't pay any membership fees to anyone because, for the most part, I can just get their content on YouTube for free. And there's always somebody out there that may even post a member segment, which, by the way, I don't really know how I feel about that ethically. I'm not entirely in favor of that. But then again, at the same time, I kind of understand why it is that you might want to see what it is that's not being reported. Either way, that right there is a touchier topic, but I want to go ahead and focus on what exactly went on this past week. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you guys know there's been this person out there with purple hair who's been grifting, who's been kind of sort of gaining the system for fame. I'm pretty sure you guys know about that. I'm pretty sure you guys know that it was Tim Pool's reporter Shane Cashman who looked a little bit kind of let's just say it was a little bit flirtatious, and obviously the part one of the expose, many people are saying, is not exactly what we call up to standards based upon the things that have came out. Of course, Brittany Venti's Twitter account being suspended, Jeremy the Quartering's Twitter account being suspended, him, of course, getting blocked by Tim Pool, and, of course, you've got Tim Pool saying stuff like this here.
Listening and doesn't know who this is, I will just explain. Right now, there's a massive campaign from high-profile personalities to promote and make Eliza Blue famous. She has stated she wants to be famous, even to Shane Cashman, and so they're coming and spamming us with comments to force us to talk about her like we are right now to make her more famous.
Yep.
It's working, and I was like, let's not go anywhere near this because someone's getting paid. It's a PR stuff.
When the hell did I get paid? I never got paid, dude. I never got paid for producing this content. Even if I was monetized, I still would not be getting paid the way you think I'd be getting paid. I mean, is it to say you are suggesting that at this moment in time, anybody who reported on this got paid to report on this? The amount of stuff that has came out about the purple-haired girl is, let's just say, I just put it this way here. It's always bad when a certain individual tries to grift for fame, is not exactly being honest about their past, and then turns right back around after that and uses a certain platform and tries to attach themselves to a certain side of the aisle so that way they can get fame for that, okay? There are a lot of people out there that do that. You can accuse anybody you want, but the term grifter is, in fact, very, very much real. This all goes back to the whole Jack Murphy thing and how it was that Jack Murphy was on a show at least once a week promoting his liminal order, which was essentially boiled down to paying $100 for a mimosa sit-down, and you got nothing else. I recall when I was 25 or 26 years old, and this has been a long time, I was at Gold's Gym, and I kind of sort of soured my membership after this. Just telling you guys a very, very quick story, where a certain company came in, and they were offering training sessions, hardcore CrossFit training sessions, and you would pay right around $30 per session. You were guaranteed 4 sessions a month. And it was just a very, very temporary thing, just to kind of see if there was any type of results. And my trainer, of course, got 2 training sessions out of me. And then I got sick. And then somehow or another, I ended up with a $1,000 damn fee, which, by the way, that company that was going through Gold's Gym wanted me to pay. Then Gold's Gym tried to force me to pay. I went in and raised hell about it. And, of course, I looked at the contract, and once again, I found out that these people were, in fact, trying to hose people, and I was not the only one. So that company obviously tried to grift off me for money, and obviously, me growing a brain suddenly, decide to go in there and say something, use my balls, lay my cards on the table, and kind of say, look, I'm not paying for this bullcrap, and as a result, I end up not having to pay anything. Some people got screwed, and some people obviously got wise, but that is a good example of somebody grifting off of you. Somebody's just straight ripping you off. It's basically the same exact principle. And somebody's going to say that it's not, but for the most part, it's kind of sort of the same thing. Mike Cernovich, for example, is a guy that we accuse of being a grifter all the time on the right, but in reality, when you think about it, what he really is he's just an indecisive milquetoast fence sitter, which for the most part is what Tim Pool kind of is. People have been calling Tim a bit of a grifter. I think that Tim Pool, for the most part, is exactly what he says he is. He's a milquetoast fence sitter. I mean, here's the thing. This video right here is not just final thoughts on him and final thoughts on the situation going forward. We're going to be kind of looking at some of the things that, of course, kind of a retrospect of what happened over the past couple of days. But we're also going to be talking about what I think is going to happen in the future as far as his channel. And I'm also going to be revisiting the take that I had yesterday where I mentioned towards the end of the video how it was that someday this topic may come back up to light in the near future. And of course, what I mean in the near future is that it's going to be used as a political point. Trust me, it is, because just about anything and everything can be used as a political point. And I'll give you another example of that towards the end of the video, which, by the way, I will also expand on further Friday on short timer prepping. Now, here's one thing that a lot of people were talking about. They were talking about the fact that this girl right here was just really just an ETOT girl or an E-girl, whatever the hell she is, and that she was looking for fame and that she was not important. Now, here's the thing. Tim had this girl on his broadcast twice. He recently had her on not too long ago. There were a lot of accusations being thrown at Andrew Tate, bringing up the whole human trafficking thing. Andrew Tate's a separate matter. I'm not going to give you guys my personal thoughts on that because I haven't really looked into that thoroughly, so I'm not even going to entertain it. But obviously, this girl kind of got famous at that time, and obviously it's come out that she's been taking money from people. There's this farm, and automatically Shane Cashman going out there after what appeared to be a bit of a flirty moment on the Timcast IRL special kind of looked a little bit suspect, even though she said, make sure you bring your wife, which, by the way, could also be a bit of a tale of saying, make sure you don't bring your wife, because your wife, hearing that right there, may feel secure in letting him go on his own. I'm not trying to make any accusations. I'm just saying this type of thing does exist. If you've been by the bar, if you've been in the club as much as I have in the past, you will find out that some shady things do occur. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Probably make a content on that at a later date. But still, the thing is this right here. Automatically off the bat, it already looks suspect, especially considering when he said that little remark about e-girl drama, yet he was just covering e-girl drama, I think, like, what was it, like the previous night or 2 nights prior, the whole AI, the whole deep fake stuff, which, by the way, I'm not going to touch because I don't really know a whole lot about. But I do find it funny, though, that you're talking about this girl being an e-girl, but yet at the same time, though, you're also saying that we're obsessing over it, yet you were just covering. Now, it's possible he could have been doing that for filler, but at the same time, though, even if you were doing that as filler, you should not be bringing that up. There is one thing that I will give Tim credit for, though, that a lot of people, I think, are refusing to acknowledge. The other day, he had Hotep Jesus, I think it was Hotep Jesus, and he acknowledged this same girl because it was talked about, and he, of course, did in fact call her a grifter. So I do got to kind of like give him credit for that. But still, though, at the same time, when you have a certain swath, and we're going to play this little montage, which I had to edit down for time because I wanted to get rid of the non-important stuff. When you still at the same time get upset with subscribers and tell them to unsubscribe, and I know somebody has said it looks more like he got mad, and one of the people who commented on my channel, and you're actually right, it looks like he got more upset and it wasn't really a meltdown. I think meltdown is what we were kind of all running with at the time. When you get upset, you get pissed off, and you basically tell your subscribers to unsubscribe, but yet they're subscribed to the channel that is showing a lot of loyalty to the previous channel and is like a 50% crossover. That's not exactly a smart business move. Now, before we go any further, I'm going to kind of file this down and kind of answer some of the points that I think may not have been highlighted properly yesterday. But remember, this right for the most part is a review, final thoughts, and a bit of a retrospect. Let's go ahead.
A lot of drama comments. Let's start reading them. Jimbo says, so many came here to spread hate, not realizing their views and commentary help boost the algorithm for old Timmy Boy. You don't like it, watch something else. Otherwise, you're clowning yourselves. Well, I appreciate the super chat and appreciate it. And then I put up a poll. And I said, smash the like button if you don't trust Eliza Blue. And 89% said, I will like because I don't trust her. That means everybody who smashed the thumbs down trusts Eliza Blue. All right. Well, that was an interesting. It's 13,000 votes. It's interesting to see that so many people came here to support her by giving us a thumbs down. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. A lot of people do support her. Scroats McGoat says, last night as a member, if Tim doesn't disavow Eliza tonight, get the out, Scroats McGoat. You can cancel right now and see you later. You will never wave money in my face and make me disavow anybody, especially someone I care so little about, Eliza Blue. She's been on the show 2 times. If you're going to cancel because I won't do what you say, you shouldn't have been here in the first place. Bye-bye. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. All right, what else do we got? DJ Zeno says, unsubbed on members only after over a year. Here's $5 FU for, I'm pretty bummed. Thought you stood against censorship. Hope you change. See you later, buddy. Look, sad to see you go, but I will never cater to a mob. And that's it. End of story. Eliza Blue is not important. She's not important to me. She's not a member of Congress. She doesn't enact policy. She is a low-tier internet personality that for some reason people are desperately obsessed with. And I literally don't care. So have a nice day.
I got to say this. If someone got banned off Twitter or any platform for a reason other than violating the terms of service, that's a big deal and should be taken up and will be if it happened with the Twitter administration or the administration of the social network. But the personal stuff it's like, no offense, TMZ garbage. It's like National Enquirer. I mean, if you like it, oh God. But
I will cancel my membership because you're not talking about someone no one ever heard of. It's like, dude, I get that you know who she is. But you know what's funny about Jack Murphy and Eliza Blue is that here's what happens. People ask questions about these personalities. And I know most people listening are like, I have no idea who these people are. And that's exactly it. We had about 40,000 peak concurrent viewers. We get, 300 to 500,000 video viewers plus 100,000 on the podcast, and then about 1 million across the clips. And the people who watch have no idea what the people in the chat are talking about when it comes to Eliza Blue or Jack Murphy. In fact, John, do you know who Eliza Blue is?
The only reason I knew is because I saw you guys talking about it one time.
One time we mentioned.
I never learned about her organically. No.
So what I think is going on, to be completely honest, is that the people who are claiming they hate her are actually probably a paid reputational firm to promote her. So that's why I brought this up last week. There are companies you can hire that will spam the internet to generate buzz and attention for you. There's no such thing as bad press. Mm-hmm. So when I see people like flooding our comments and saying things that aren't true, like I'm canceling my membership, I can see who's canceling their memberships. Like I own the website. And this past week, we have gained slightly more members than we normally gain.
Let's go ahead and get this part out of the way. I did mention this in yesterday's video. The PR thing, and I already touched on it before. I'm pretty sure nobody in here is working for a PR firm, and I'm pretty sure nobody's working for a PR stunt, seeing how this information has been floating out for a while, seeing how it was that Brittany Venti got suspended from Twitter. She was locked out. From my understanding, she's still locked out of her account. A lot of accounts, of course, are also locked because they brought this up. There's also the same guy who I brought up before. He's got a lot more information on another small YouTube content channel. I went through and looked at a lot of his stuff. I highly advise you guys go check him out. I'll leave the link to his channel. And he also had some stuff that was brought up in the video that I had seen the previous morning, which, by the way, was yesterday. When I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning and just started looking through everything. He brought up some very juicy stuff that I highly advise you guys go look into, because he had a different take where he was suggesting that Tim may be doing this to protect a certain individual that works for him. The other way, you can also go check out Brittany Venti's content, because she has brought up that same said individual. Let's just say that her name begins with a C and she used to have a last name that began with F, and now it begins with an M. I personally used to be a fan, still actually like the girl, but then again, though, now that I have found out some more information, it kind of makes me look at things a little bit differently, but we'll know a little bit more in the future, or at least I will, on how to feel about this. But the thing is this right here. I don't believe anybody is working for any type of firm or anything, and you just suggest that right now they're trying to build her up to be famous when she's losing tens of thousands of followers now that the jig is up. Now that people kind of see what the hell is going on. Now, it may be possible that maybe they were trying to do that years ago. Maybe that right there is what Tim is alluding to. But when you say that we are all working for some form of a PR outfit, that right there is pretty shady. Also, something else too, Ian Crossland. I do not agree with anything that Ian Crossland says most of the time, because he's kind of a commie. I've heard a lot of things, read a lot into his background. Kind of makes you think he's not exactly a good person himself. But then again, at the same time, though, it's very possible that he may have reformed at some point in time in his life. But still, though, at the same time, though, as much as I like Ian as a person and don't agree with him on anything else, this right here was not the time for you to bring up TMZ or anything. If anything, your moment to look smart may have made you look dumb. Tim not covering the story. If I recall correctly, what I said in yesterday's video was you had one or two ways of going about this. You could have said, look, dude, we are not going to cover this story for et cetera, et cetera. Or, hey, look, I want to wait till after the expose is out. He didn't really do a whole lot of that. Instead, he just kind of like ignored it. And, of course, you've got people who follow him, who follow The Quartering, who follow Brittany Venti, who follow Yellow Flash, who follow The Umbrella Guy, who follow a lot of these channels, who also follow Tim. They're now getting upset and they're unsubscribing. And I mentioned something about the Super Chats. Now, let me say this right quick about Super Chats. I understand that Super Chats can be important to a channel. Me, personally, it's just my personal opinion. I don't intend on doing Super Chats on this channel because I don't really intend on doing many live streams. I did entertain the possibility, but I did mention I could do it someday. That was also still a possibility. But the thing is this right here. I don't want to charge you money, and if and I understand it's a donation, but it still feels to me, it just feels to me like it's charging, okay? You can try to change my mind in the comment section or change my mind on the street somewhere. That's fine with me. But I don't think I need to take a donation while you're just typing. If you want to ask me something, just ask me, okay? Don't worry, I'll create an email account separate just for this channel at some point in time so that way I can take your questions, so that way I can do more of the things that you might want me to cover, especially as far as when it comes to social issues in sports, because we still cover sports from time to time on the channel, especially when it involves the wokeness in sports. As a matter of fact, the take for the day was originally supposed to be about the one-armed swimmer, talking about the possibility of maybe those in the trans community should open up their own sports league. I would probably cover that at a later date. But the thing is this right here. At this moment in time, I just haven't set that stuff up. But I'm also don't intend on taking donations because, like I said, dude, you're sending me an email. Dude, you're typing something in. I just don't feel the need to take $5 from somebody because you're paying money to me, but yet you're also just typing. I feel like even if we disagree with one another, we should still be able to have an open dialogue with one another. Even though I understand that I'm behind a camera or I'm in front of a camera talking to you guys, I just don't see the need in doing that. But if Tim Pool wants to take Super Chats, go right ahead and do it. But here's the thing, though. When you're taking Super Chats, okay, it might be best that you actually answer the questions, or you might be able to answer exactly what somebody is asking. As I said before, a lot of these same people are subscribed to a lot of these channels who got jilted by this girl with the purple hair, but yet here you are completely ignoring these, and here you are just going out of your way to say, hey, look, this right here is not that big of a deal. Oh, I want to talk about bigger things in the world, but yet at the same time, though, that censorship issue is a pretty big issue. Let me explain the reasons why. If everything is censored, then we're not going to find out the details of what's going on, say, like in Ukraine, for example. Okay, people have uncovered some pretty weird stuff. People have uncovered some pretty wonky crap that's going on in that war. Stuff that, quite frankly, I ended up being right about on my channel, Gear Issue 33, and some of the previous takes that I had on this topic have actually come to light. It's not going the way the mainstream media wants it to go. You see, we need to counter the censorship so that way people can know exactly what the hell is really going on, so that way they don't get hoodwinked. I understand this is over a quote-unquote e-girl, but at the same time, though, this is still a very big issue because, as you guys are finding out, this girl is not exactly who the hell she says she is. What if the situation that you mentioned earlier about Ukraine is not exactly what the hell it's being reported to be? Or what about the situation in Taiwan? Also, when he mentions politicians, okay, I kind of get the idea that maybe Tim wants to do interviews with bigger personalities like politicians, like bigger personalities. Well, that right there sounds a lot like the Daily Wire. That sounds a lot like a lot of other networks, which tells me that Tim may be trying to go in that direction. Either way, though, I'm not entirely sure that right there will work out for him. But then again, though, they also did say at one point in time that the Daily Wire did offer Tim Pool a contract, and Tim did reject it. But, of course, he's had Michael Knowles on. He's had Matt Walsh on. It's not going to be long before he has Ben Shapiro on. It's not going to be long before he has more additions with Jeremy Boring or even Jordan Peterson, assuming his channel gets bigger, which I'll talk about here in a second, what I see happening to his channel a little bit later on. Fact of the matter is, dude, is that when you throw a certain swath of your subscriber base under the bus, don't be surprised if people don't unsubscribe. One more thing, too. When he brings up his views and he brings up the fact that he's getting more memberships than losing, that's Tim Pool being smug. That is, in fact, the I'm too big to fail. Let me go ahead and explain something to you right now. No man on earth is too big to fail. No man on earth will not at some point in time slip up or screw up. Every single YouTube channel out there, every single channel that gets big eventually will experience a fall. Let me give you a great example. TYT has got what, roughly 6 million subscribers? Dude, they can barely get 12,000 views on a live stream, okay? That's really and truly all they can get. They sometimes get not even 1,000 views because people have found them out to be frauds. People have found them out to be nothing more than just a left-wing version of the National Enquirer, or TMZ, as Ian Crossland says. Fact of the matter is that nobody is too big to fail, dude. You don't need to have that mindset. You can be confident. Yes, confidence is great. I can be, look, it takes a certain amount of confidence to even get in front of a camera, okay? You have to already accept the fact that you're going to take bad hits. Even if you're like me and you don't do debates or anything, you're going to get called names in the comment section. You're going to have bad shit being said to you. This is how this entire thing works. Even me sometimes does not handle it correctly sometimes, but I'm learning. Fact of the matter is that this business, what we're doing right here, is going to come with some very bad things. So don't think for 1 second that you're not too big to fail. All you got to do is go back and look at my channel and look at the viewership and look at how wonky it is and look at how it is that I've made close to 400 videos, but 2/3 of those videos can't even crack 100 views. That's okay. Make those comments. I know those comments are coming. As I said before, you've got to have very, very thick skin in the game. But you cannot, under any circumstances, get your head so bloated to where, guess what happens? Yet you're not untouchable. Tim, trust me, you are very, very, very touchable, bro. Even if it's not in that compound that he's bought, which, by the way, he has made a very, very, let's just say, he's made a very, very good life for himself. I'm complimenting him on that. Fact of the matter is, dude, you are not too big to fail. I understand that little rant that I just had may have included a couple of stutters because I'm going completely off the cuff here. Fact of the matter is, dude, like I said before, nobody is too big to fail. Look at the Daily Wire. The Daily Wire has gotten very big, but the whole Crowder thing exposed a lot of the things that, quite frankly, we already knew about their censorship practices and how they work hand in hand with big tech. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a backlash, even if it's not very big. It's definitely happening, even on a smaller scale. It's probably going to come. Pride always comes before the fall. Trust me, you are not too big to fail, which, by the way, leads me to one of two final takes. And this right here is one of the takes that, quite frankly, I wanted to mention yesterday. I wanted to expand upon a little bit further. Number one, I don't think that Tim, even though he's acting too big to fail and he's experiencing a bit of a dip and being a little bit smug and being a little bit snooty to subscribers, I don't think his career is ending. However, that does not mean that he will not experience a dip. Now, really quick, a streamer like him will always have access to somewhere like Fox News or Newsmax or hell, even any type of mainstream media source. So trust me, he's going to still be around. Don't think for 1 second that he's just going to bomb the hell out and just leave. Now, like I said before, if you want to unsubscribe from him, go right ahead and do that. I'm not encouraging you to do anything. I have already made my decision on this matter. Tim Pool has got a lot of takes out there that were actually pretty good, and he's got a lot of takes that are very dumb. When he makes a very, very dumb take, I will correct it, or I will counter it. When he makes a very good take, I'll compliment on it, and I will even expand. This is the type of person that I am. Of course, people love to say that I'm very, very tribal because of my political affiliation, but that is okay. I will give you credit when I think you're right about something, okay? If I'm wrong about something, leave it in the comment section, and I will do everything I can to rationally have a discussion with you. If I cannot counter that, or if I think you are somewhat right to a certain degree, I will probably look at you and I will probably say, you know what, this conversation here may not be worth it. I respect your opinion. I do not agree with it, which, by the way, I more than likely do not agree with it if you leave it in there, and that's the case. That is what I will do because you do have a right to that opinion. You do have that right to disagree, and you do have that right to complain. Regardless of what affiliation you are, you do have a right to have grievances, and you do have a right to complain, and you do have a right to call somebody out when they're wrong. The same exact way that Jeremy's subscribers had a right to call out Tim for being wrong. The same exact reason, the same exact way people who disagree with me can come in the comment section and disagree with me about it. I can also go in their comment section and disagree with them. It's the way that it is. Like I said before, you've got to develop tough skin if you're going to be in this game. Now, so like I said before, what happens to a channel? Oh, he's going to see a dip. He's going to see a dip, but he's not going to lose like massive amounts of subscribers and massive amounts of followers. If he does that, I'll come out here and openly eat my words. But the fact of the matter is, it's not like his career is going to die. But he is going to experience a bit of a downward spiral to a certain degree, because a lot of people are just going to say, you know what, man, that guy right there, screw him. I'm not going to be there. But of course, Tim doesn't really care about that. He's smelling his own farts at this moment in time. He's huffing his own farts. He's eating his own crap. When you get that way, there is a stage afterwards, though, where after a while you do eventually fall. But a channel that big, a channel that's been growing at that rate, it's not going to completely fall apart overnight. However, though, at the same time, though, it does make me wonder if at some point in time staff changes will not occur. Like I said before, if you really truly want to know who he is, maybe you should go watch the whole Adam Krigler drama stuff. Maybe you should go watch that. I mean, I did do one video on that covering my exact thoughts. I'll try to leave it in the description box, or you can go on my page and you can check it out. But no, I don't think that Tim Pool's career is going to end or anything like that. And like I said, it's just going to lead to a few unsubscriptions and a few people canceling their memberships and maybe a dip in his overall viewership. It's not like he's going anywhere. And here is my final thought, okay? And I need to kind of put this out here, okay? Yesterday, I talked about the possibility of the purple hair girl situation being used at a later date against those for political purposes. This is a possibility because we live in a time where we have a media that, quite frankly, just looks for anything and everything. If I can attach this person who's a hysterical grifter, or if I can attach this person who is an extreme liar, if I can attach this person to my political opponent or my political opposition, I will do that. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, I know I'm just kind of doubling down on what I said. What's probably going to happen is that later on this year or later on next year, in a haze, because you're out of things to talk about, this girl is going to show up on television someday. She's going to give an interview. She's attached herself to the Daily Wire. She's attached herself to Ben Shapiro. A lot like Jack Murphy is attaching himself to another certain individual. But the thing is this right here. Once you find out these people are absolute grifters, it kind of makes the people around you or the people that are around them, it kind of makes them suspect too. So don't be surprised if this situation does not show back up sometime in the next year and is used against one political side of the aisle, because of the fact that this girl was platformed, because this liar was platformed, and Tim had a golden opportunity to kind of at least say, hey, look, dude, this is not a very, very good look for Twitter. This is not a very good look for these people. Yeah, she's a grifter. Yeah, this, and this. You had an opportunity to do that, and you obviously flaked on that, and you got upset with subscribers. And, of course, you took their money after chewing them out, and you took their money even after you refused to cover something that, quite frankly, they had requested you at least talk about or at least mention. It's all people were asking for, dude. But the fact of the matter is this right here. This entire ordeal will be used at a later date against a certain political opposition because she's kind of sort of already attached herself to one side of the aisle, claiming that she was a survivor, when we're finding out that in reality she is not. Guys, John Claymore here. If you like the content, hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, hit the notifications bell. I want to get you guys' thoughts in the comment section. Like I said before, if you want to disagree about anything, go right ahead and do that. I am not going to beat you up for it. I don't like the idea of getting upset with subscribers. I've done it before. I'm living and learning as I do this. Yes, you've got to have thick skin when you're in the game, but like I said before, please leave your thoughts in the comment section. Also, please hit that like button. Please subscribe. Please hit the notifications bell. And Social Justice Warriors, piss off.